You're watching the Flint Film Foundation Podcast, hosted by Flint, Michigan Films, created inside the Dort Mall. The Flint Film Foundation is a local nonprofit focused on creating community impact through film, television, and social content with an emphasis on education and community storytelling. If you'd like to learn more, please visit flintfilmfoundation.org. You guys ready to rock and roll this podcast?
I think so.
I think so too.
Yay. All right. Well, I'm super excited to have Xzavier Simon, right?
Yes.
See? Xzavier with the Z. Simon joining us today on the podcast. And one of the fun things I love about podcasts is we don't really know each other until today. Like, we just met for our first time today.
We did.
We have talked for about the last hour while the boys got production stuff ready, but it's going to be kind of fun to get to know who you are, what you're about, the things that you're doing in Flint, and so I'm super excited about that. So why don't we start, and you tell us a little bit about you.
Oh God, I don't even know where to begin. Or let's start with the personal, I guess.
Yeah, let's go personal.
The
I
humble beginnings. So I grew up and am from the Beecher community, which is like smashed in between Flint and Mount Morris, and depending on who wants to claim us when, we could be Mount Morris Beecher or we could be Flint Beecher. So I lived out there and graduated from there. My family still lives out there. And I don't know, I was just like a nerdy, introverted kid growing up. Like, I love video games, I love anime, I love cartoons, I love tech. So I spent like all of my youth like watching cartoons and stuff on TV and playing video games. But that's what like inspired me to like start writing, because I was playing games like Final Fantasy and Chrono Trigger and Super Mario and Donkey Kong and all that kind of stuff. And I was just like, how are they making like all of these worlds and stuff like that? Like, I want to do this. I want to go into these worlds. And that just really like kickstarted way too much stuff that is like still happening now. So what else? Let me see. I come from a single parent household. My mom raised me and my three other brothers. I'm the third of four. We're
all boys?
All boys.
Woo, mama.
She wanted a girl and she did not get it. So it's just me and
trying.
my brothers.
Yep. Yeah, I was going to say, you got,
So it's kind of like the opposite of my dad. That's funny. Like, I was like, oh yeah, our lives are so similar. And then until you said the boys. So my dad had 11 girls and was trying for another boy, but he also had 2 boys.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, the gag is like all of my brothers had girls.
I was going to say,
So,
does she have grandkids,
Yes,
grandgirls?
Yes. I have 9 nieces.
Wow. No nephews? Do you have
No
any
nephews?
That's wild.
All nieces.
Oh man.
And I don't need any kids right now because they all keep me very busy. They range from 2 to the oldest one will be 18 in April. Not April, May. And now I feel old.
Yeah, I know. When you're, because I don't have any children myself, and so I'm the glorified aunt of many, I like to say.
Period. As
Right?
one should be.
And I love to spoil them, and they're amazing. But yeah, my oldest is 20. And I remember what I was wearing the day she was born,
I
right?
know, right?
And now they're 20.
Yeah,
Corey's got a 21-year-old son, though.
Sure do. 21 had him. Right out of high school. Like, literally, I graduated senior year and had a little baby, a little July baby.
Come on, July babies. I'm also a July baby.
Yeah. What's your birthday?
July 11th.
This is the 23rd. Yeah,
That's cool.
So,
I wish I had a summer birthday. I'm November.
It's cool, but like when I was growing up, it always rained on my birthday, so it wasn't like the best day ever of my life until I became an adult.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, just like, oh my God, it's nice and sunny. It's freaking hot. So now I can like go out and like enjoy things and do stuff. Like this past birthday, my boyfriend took me down to like a super nice restaurant down in Detroit with some of our friends, and they got me a birthday cake which I never had before. And he was like, "What the hell?" I was
You've
like,
never had a birthday cake?
Twice. He was the second time I ever had a birthday cake on my birthday, and so
Really?
yeah. See, now that makes it sound like I grew up poor or something like
No.
that.
No.
So I do not come from money, but my mom made sure like we had what we needed to have.
Mm-hmm.
And just like a birthday cake is just like not a necessity. That doesn't mean I
Yeah.
didn't get like birthday gifts. Like I remember my mom specifically like buying us Mega Man X3 for the Super Nintendo, and she was like pissed because she paid like $80 for it. But I was like,
they were expensive back in the day.
They were expensive, but I was like, bless you, woman. Like,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bless her for having 4 boys, man. That's crazy.
That's a lot, yeah. See, I'm like a middle child and an only child, so I'm like, I'm surprised I'm not more of a psychopath than I already am.
Well, don't get it twisted. No, I'm just kidding. He's great. He's great.
Well, that that and the whole Virgo energy kind of thing too. So, middle kid, only kid, Virgo. Yeah, see, yeah, three names that I use: Corey James Taylor. I mean, I'm like right up there. Like, I statistically should be a psychopath. Like,
that's so funny. So you are from also. You work currently with Flint. There you go. Yeah. I was like, say it, finish it off.
We literally told ourselves 1,000 times, don't say the other one. Don't say the other one.
Don't say the other ones.
Yeah. Like, it's okay if you say the other one, but it's like, that's not who I work for. Yeah. And it's like,
well, we want to make sure to get it right too. You know what I mean?
People should.
Yeah, for sure.
And when we have her on, we'll probably like Flint.
Why don't you tell us? No.
All that it does is make me think about that episode of Family Guy where they didn't know Meg's birthday and they were singing her birthday. It was like, you are going on. That's what hilarious. That reminds me of.
That's hilarious. So tell me about Flintside. I know some people think that you're the owner of Flintside. You're the face of Flintside.
I am the current face of, but I do not own it. Flintside is owned by an umbrella company called Issue Media Group, or IMG, which has multiple different publications under its umbrella. But yes, in a Flint capacity with this one, I am the face of it. I just recently became the managing editor this past November. So I'm relatively new to the position, but not new to like the publication and just like the journalism scene in Flint. But Flintside is really like a solutions journalism, a solutions oriented publication. We're really focused on talking to and interviewing the people who are out here doing the work and making a change and recognizing a problem and, you know, providing a solution for it. So we really try to tailor our work around that, but it's Flint. There's a lot of other things that is happening. So how I got my, I guess you could say my rise to fame in the city was I interviewed music artists. My first big one was with John Connor, and then from there it just blew up from there. So it went into Jeff Sky, Ace Cabana, Cameron Tyler, Taylor Tatum, just a whole slew of Flint artists here that I have had the opportunity and the privilege to sit down and interview. So it's a lot of things that happens in Flintside that I'm very proud of and have been proud of since I've been with them.
How long have you been with them?
6 years, since December of 2019.
Wow.
And I didn't even know I had the job when I
what? You got to tell us that story.
So like I left Michigan in like 2017 to like go find myself and like have this spiritual journey, which like led me to Texas and Virginia, and I ultimately landed in DC, working for a summer program out of Georgetown University, which I had no idea even fucking existed. And so when I got back to Flint, like I didn't want to be here. I was broke. I was like, I want to get the hell up out of here faster than I came back. But nothing was like happening. And so I was like on Indeed one day and I saw like a job opening for a freelance writer, and I was like, this is for me. This is me. But I think it took me like a week to apply because I was like, I don't know about this. And the then managing editor, a phenomenal, brilliant woman named Xander Brown, I sent her everything that I had. And she was like, okay, here's your assignment. Go do it. And I was like, okay, this is a test. No, I was like,
he was hired.
I was hired. She never
they
said
W-2'd you.
You get something in the mail like, oh, that's a check.
No, literally.
Is that really what happened?
I was like, oh, okay. Here's this contract. I signed a contract. And from that moment, I was like, I did my first 2 articles. And I was like, okay, I have this opportunity to do some amazing stuff for people in the city. Like I have friends who I know do incredible shit. And now I have this like opportunity and this platform to like share their stories. And again, it's just took off from there. And it's been a legit roller coaster because journalism in Flint is wild.
That's crazy. That's funny because I feel like I've learned I'm not, what do you call them, a Flintstone?
Yeah.
Right? I love Flint. I've fallen in love with Flint in the last 5 years I've been here. But the more I talk to people, the more I hear that you all leave and then you come back and you figure it out. The same thing happened with Corey.
Yeah. I left for the Army when I was, actually I was 17 getting ready to turn. Actually, I just turned. I left September 11th, 2004, now that I think about it. Yeah. So I literally had just like left after turning 18. I signed up when I was 17, but yeah. And then I did 4.5 years there, and then I was like, it was like 2008, and like Detroit was just in ruins, you know what I mean? And there's nothing here, so I was like, oh, well, you know, and the girl I was dating at the time, she's like, well, I'm going to go work for my dad in New Mexico. Do you want to come with me? They've got, you know, basically free education for your first, for your associate's degree, to community college. And then the university at the time was one of the highestly rated for like what I wanted to do. Cause I thought I was like, I'm going to study physics. You know what I mean? Turns out, like,
really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it was physics originally, and then I was like, well, physics is like really cold and boring and calculating. And then I took a chemistry class, and I loved it. You know what I mean? I really, really did. But I'm like, I don't want to just sit in a lab all day and kind of, you know, do theoretical experiments. So I was like, what about paramedic? So I did that and got in one of the most prestigious programs, and honestly, like I think it's like top 3 in the world. I don't know if it still is, but did that and then picked up a camera, and like I had an iPhone, or not even an iPhone. It was like a Samsung Galaxy with like an 8 megapixel camera. Yes. And I had friends that were doing like bands and rappers and musicians and stuff. And I just started taking them and posting them on Facebook, and like, we love these. Like, can you do more? So I had some money and I bought a camera and just kind of turned it on video mode and made my first music video, and was editing a music video when I should have been studying for class. And
It'd be like that.
It was my first, I was just like crying tears. I was like, I never knew I was an artist. Like, you know what I mean? Why didn't anyone tell me? And then, yeah, like 3 months later, I'm back in Flint and trying to make it in the film world. So,
and doing it.
Yeah.
At that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I got my first film gig September, in August. We actually finished my first gig on my birthday. Me and the director had the same birthday, September 5th. So I finished my first film gig on my birthday. And then I think it was like right after that, they announced that the film incentives were going away.
Wah, wah, wah.
You got to write stuff down. That's how you manifest and achieve your dreams, is when you like write it down.
You know what? That's really true. And it's funny that you say that, because I know this and I have done this. Like, you write things down. It comes, you know, like from brain to paper, and I stopped. And Corey is a note taker, and he has ADD, and he writes every night before we go to bed. He writes a list of all the things he has to do the next day.
Oh my God. Were we the same person?
I don't know.
I literally do.
Literally, like in bed right before we go to bed.
Yeah, she's trying to cuddle me. I'm like, I'm not ready yet.
He's like, you need to write things down. I'm like, I know, but I haven't.
You have to write things down.
I know.
Why aren't you writing them down?
No. I don't. I mean, honestly, I'm like, I know it. I don't know why I'm not writing them down.
Like,
I think one thing is like, I realize that I'll write things down and I'll never look at it again. But I don't know why that's not okay. You know what I mean? Like, I don't go back and look at it. Like, if I'm taking notes or something, I feel like I've always been a terrible note taker. Like, I'll just write it down, and then it's like, why are you laughing at me, Xzavier? And then, like, I just forget about it until I might pick up this notebook like 6 months later and be like, oh yeah, remember that one thought?
No, okay, so you need to get like a little journal or something.
Corey's bought me one.
I better a few.
Okay.
Facts.
You need to save money and go dig them journals out. And just start jotting, you know, what you need to do, like random notes and ideas, and just keep it with you, because you'll randomly start flipping through, because you have to flip through it to get through the page that has nothing on it.
That's true.
So as you flip through, you're like, oh shit, I forgot about that. Oh shit, I do need to do that. Oh shit, I remember that now.
You're
like,
right. Okay.
I implore you to do that.
And like I said, I had a long list of like when I was doing like physics or chemistry or when I was learning anatomy, like it was all about like they just said like, hey, just write it down. If you never use it, that's fine. But just like the thought of taking it from your brain to the thing will give you like it's like crazy, like it's a high percentage that you'll remember it versus you're not. So even if you're like just writing it down, it'll help you at least like in your brain, like, oh, I wrote that down. Do you need this? So a lot of times.
I mean, it's like the same thing, you know, I tell our writers, like that first draft, like just write that shit out. I don't give a damn what it's, because I'm not going to see that, but just blurt out whatever you need to get down on the typewriter. A typewriter. Who do people still write on the typewriter?
They actually make like little Mac things that pretend to be typewriters.
Like a typewriter and
Yeah.
sound
I
like
need
a
that. I need that.
You
But I'm like,
classic on everybody.
listen, because they don't know about it. Like they don't know about VCRs and all that stuff.
Right. Sorry. Anyway,
No, it's
finish your thought.
It's okay. But no, like just blurting all of that stuff out on like that first draft is like critical, like because that way you're not thinking about it, you're not trying to self-critique and self-edit in the process. You can just get it all down, take a step back, and then come back and be like, okay, what do I have here? How can I now reorganize this and edit it? And we don't do a lot of that. I miss my high school English teacher. Shout out to Miss Almond. Like that lady really just like sticks in my brain and lives in there rent free for all of the stuff she taught me about like writing. Like she would legit take a red pen and just go do it again.
Really?
Like we would spend the whole 55 minutes of class just like working on hook sentences. Just these little one-liner zings to start off the paper with. And if you didn't, you'd have to write it and go up to her. And if she said it was cool, you could go on and write the paper. But if not, you had to literally sit there and figure out how to make this one-line zinger to start off this paper the whole class. And so just like that kind of intensive writing training like sticks with me even to today. So I'm like, all right, what is my focal point for this article? What is the focal point for this person's article? And that's what we're going to start with.
So I've always thought that's very interesting. I've always thought that I was a good writer. Like when I write things, I'm like, that sounds good. But I have to like write a sentence and then I'll reread that sentence and then I'll write another one. And then I have to reread the whole thing to write another sentence. And I'm like, does anybody else's brain do that? Because it drives me insane. I'm like, that's not how you write. Like, you should be able to write. But I'm like, I can't even get.
That's how I write emails, which is why I hate writing emails.
Really?
Oh, dude. Yeah.
No, emails are terrible.
I
hate writing emails.
I do not feel so bad anymore.
Yeah,
you should. Please don't.
I'm like, because it will take me forever to write like one paragraph of something because I'm constantly like rereading it and trying to figure out what's the next best sentence.
No, that's real shit. Like, especially professional emails, and you want them to sound nice and you want it to flow. And I'll be sitting there for like 30 minutes writing an email when all I want to say is, hi, can we link up to do X, Y, and Z? And it's like, no, hi, good afternoon, good evening. My name is such and such. I represent such and such organization, or I'm trying to do such and such. Are you interested in? I'll just be like, oh my fucking God.
So that's why I just call people now. They're like, oh, you're a caller. I'm like, yeah, sure am. Hi, how are you?
You are a caller, and that's I think that's a lost, what am I trying to say?
Lost art form.
Yes.
I can't. I just don't have time. I'm like, no.
but
Hi, how are you? What's up? Going on? Like, move. That's why I have the ears, you know what I mean? So I can be like rent free. And, I think too, and it helps me not be so stiff when I'm calling, you know what I mean? Because
when you're walking around.
Well, yeah, because I'm walking around, I'm doing something else. So I'm not thinking about presenting my best self. I'm just being kind of myself, you know what I mean? I think maybe it's a bad thing. I don't know, but it's worked for me so far.
But I think that's how people relate when I always tell people, like when I'm coaching them, especially because we do a lot of marketing with my health coaching business on Facebook. We use Facebook as our platform. But I always say, like, if you can do live videos, when people can see you and hear you, it makes way more of an impact. And I think that's very true with phone calls. Like when people can hear you, they can hear your excitement, they can hear how you're thinking, right? That can be super powerful. But that's why I think journalists and writers are freaking incredible, because they can do that without having, you know what I mean? Without having to
word it in a way that grabs your attention. In such a way that you're enthralled with it.
Yeah, that's so true.
That's the biggest reason why I like face-to-face interviews, because I like to see the person who I'm interacting and engaging with, because for me, all of that comes into the piece that I'm writing about. So the color of your hair, how your eyes look a certain way when we talk about a specific topic, your body language, your hand movements, your gestures, like all of that kind of stuff for me, like really makes a different aspect of the article, because I'm very descriptive. So I'm like, ooh, I noticed that this question did this, and like I try to put that in the article to like bring people along the journey with me. So it's like you're sitting right there listening and looking at everything that's happening.
That's pretty cool. Like that's kind of what you do with your film, right? Like you just bring it to life. Like he's super descriptive, but you can take a story and put it into a picture.
Yeah, and I think mine is like, he's the translator, and I think a lot of times in interviews, it's like, did you mean to say it like this? Or like I'll reword it another way that I think they might want it to be presented. Or like I'm kind of like, I'm not editing them, but I'm like, kind of guiding them along into, like, okay, cool, but like, you said this, and so let's go into that a little deeper, or to grab these things. So I'm trying to get people out of their heads, because you get all this going on and they start getting their heads, so you get them comfortable, and then you start having them talk about it, and then people are gonna mess up when they're because they get comfortable, they get candid and stuff like that, and then you're just like, hey, just checking, like, did you mean to say it like that? Or what about this? And sometimes I will help them out with maybe say it like this, because sometimes especially with technical people, it's like, I have no idea what you said, and I'm an incredible tech nerd, or like I will know what they say, but I'm like 90% of the people will not know what that means. So I think where he is, like, he's doing the heavy lifting. I feel like my heavy lifting comes from like guiding the interview, you know what I mean? Because you don't want to force them into saying what you want, because that's that's just not a good spot to be. That's
not cute.
Yeah, no,
at all. No. Like it's very manipulative. Actually,
I'm sure it's out there though.
No, people 100%. Definitely do that, coerce people into saying things all the time. Absolutely, but I think like I'm gonna say this, and I don't. Do I mean it like this? Probably. You're a lot nicer than I am in the capacity of, I love interviewing people, and I always do my best to make people get comfortable, just like in casual conversation, or just like making it more conversational. But I love the fact when I interview somebody and we're at a bar or we're in the studio and they decide they want to get a drink or several drinks, or then they want to start smoking, because then I'm like, so let's really get into
let them relax a little bit.
So that's the thing I've been missing. Get them drunk.
That's hilarious. I can see that
it.
Though, because it makes total sense.
I mean, because I'm like, for me,
they're
I'm
more
like,
relaxed.
I want the truth. I don't want some big polished ass answer. Like, I want to tell the people what it is, or what the experience is that you're going through, what that is. I don't want to sugarcoat it or wash that down or anything like that. So when people get inebriated or or get high or something, that like their filters and stuff, they get more relaxed and they get more comfortable, and they be like, okay, so this is really what happened. But there comes this balance with that, right? So like, people tell me and have told me all kind of stuff. But one of the hardest aspects of journalism is knowing what to tell and what to keep.
Yeah.
And that's a very thin line that can lead to some consequences. Because while I do enjoy people getting drunk and getting high and us interviewing, because I be cracking up and it just be a whole production, literally, in a sense. Once I sit down and I start writing that, now I'm like, okay, these are people's lives, or this is somebody's story, how much is too much, how little is too little, and you really have to you have to make a judgment call on what is too much and what is too little. Do I say everything that they said, or do I say half of it and then utilize my own words to kind of either dance around it or fill in a blank with something else, or align it to maybe something that is happening nationally or globally or something like that. So it's a hard, delicate balance to maintain and do.
Yeah, and if for us, it's more like, you want to press them, especially if you're like, say, I don't do a lot of like journalistic, but I do want, usually it's like the company hires me, it's the story. Or if we're doing a documentary, you really want to get to the bottom of this. So you have to ask those hard questions in a way that they're comfortable asking, but it really will leave the audience to kind of make up their own thing. Because I can't, once, they've said it, if I use it, I can't just, I can use little bits and parts, but maybe I can, maybe I can't. I might be able to use the first half of that sentence and then tie it into somebody else's thing. But, sometimes they'll give me an answer and I'm like, I'm not putting that in there. Like, you don't want me to put that in there. It's not going to go good for you. You know what I mean? I don't think you really meant it like that. You know what I mean? Or maybe you just don't understand the entirety of the situation we're talking about, especially like with politics and stuff like that. Sometimes you want the rise, but sometimes you're like, okay, cool. Like, you want their thoughts, you want their way of thinking, but you don't need that other stuff. I think that just gets in the way. You know what I mean? Because then now you're trying to get it in a way that you hear their side. So, and if you give that, then it completely shuts off the audience. You know what I mean? And now that person is like, everything that he said is null and void, and you can't just do null and void somebody based on one opinion. That's just not how the entire human experience works. You know what I mean?
Or like, what do they call it? A quick sound bite.
Yeah.
Because you don't have the full context of the conversation or what they said. Yeah.
Have you had a favorite interview that you've done that you're like, that was the one that I really loved?
I got like too many of those moments.
That's cool though. I mean, that's good.
Because it's just like the elevation of the craft, in a sense. It's like, okay, you start off here and then, you become more recognized and people want you to interview them, or you just get opportunities. And so it's like every little thing is like, oh my God, I never thought I would interview this person. Or, oh my God, I never thought I would interview a person here. Like, I've interviewed people in studios, in basements, in their cars. Like, I'm just like, oh, this shit is cool as hell. And then, I've interviewed executive directors and CEOs and stuff like that, and be able to get opportunities and stuff like that. So every interview brings its own, like, uniqueness. Like, for example, interviewing film CEO, we got the opportunity to be able to do his photo shoot inside the Capitol Theater, which was like dope as shit. And they gave us a tour of like all the innards and stuff of the Capitol Theater, and I was like, oh my God, this is fucking phenomenal, right? So that's like one aspect. But then like I interviewed an author, and we literally jumped in his truck and rode around through his old neighborhood, and he was like, well, that's where that happened, or this where that fight happened, or this happened there, I remember this. And I was just like, oh my God, this shit is cool as hell. So it's just really, for me anyway, I'm just like, these are some dope ass experiences no matter what is happening. I'm like, oh, we doing this, or we doing that, or we going here, or we get to see this. So
that's what I've loved about being part of this Flint Film Foundation and Flint, Michigan Films, is that no day is ever the same.
Yeah.
And there's always cool things happening. Like, we've been able to do so many cool things. Earlier when you said you had never had, you've had a birthday cake like twice. We met a girl that came from Paris. So it was this really cool documentary that they were working about a Vietnam vet who fathered a child. Didn't know that he knew that he had fathered a child, came back to the States, had a whole separate family, always knew about this kid. And years later, 45 years later, DNA test came and they found this kid, and Corey and the crew got to introduce them. What? I know. And then like 7 years after that, they reached back out to the production team and they found out there was another kid.
Which was the original kid that he had always known about.
So he didn't.
Yes,
yeah. 2 different women. They're like 5 months apart, these two.
The plot twist.
Yeah, it was crazy. So then we got to go there, and so the son lives in Paris, and he is married with 2 kids, and then his daughter lives in Missouri with her boyfriend. So recently, like around Thanksgiving, we got to bring
all of them together,
all the siblings together. So we got to, and this girl from Paris had never had a birthday cake, and so it was her birthday.
Yeah, and like an American like happy birthday, you know, singing and stuff like that. She didn't know what to do with the candles.
She didn't know what to do. She didn't know what she was supposed to blow the candles out.
Yeah,
like,
she
it was
just so happy about
God.
it. Like, and then somebody was like, you blow them out. She was like, what?
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
But we still keep in contact with her on, what's that app called?
WhatsApp?
Yeah, the WhatsApp.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
incredible.
Melissa's so good about that.
I love her. I fell in love with this girl. She's like one of the coolest chicks ever. So it's been really fun to meet new people and that you never thought you would. Now we have a place to stay in Paris if we ever want to go.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
those are like the offhanded perks of stuff that happens from doing this type of work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really is. You get to meet amazing people, hear amazing, incredible stories.
Yeah, like I got to meet my buddy Ryan Francis, who's like he was Hook, or I mean he was Kid Peter Pan in the movie Hook. Yeah, and like he just literally called me yesterday. He's like, "You want to come make a movie in Oklahoma?" I was like, "Yeah, buddy." So yeah, but like, and then like he like every now and again he'll show old work, and I'm like, "Oh my God!" Like you were a part of like he was in my favorite Go-Gurt commercials. He was in my favorite Nerf commercials. He was in a Sega Genesis commercial that I remember watching. You know what I mean? And I'm like, how crazy! Like this guy, like I used to watch all the time. Like he was in all these big commercials that I used to watch. And he was in Hook, which was one of my favorite movies as a kid. And I'm like, and yeah, he's like, "You want to come stay at my house?" I'm like, "Yes, sir."
Sure will. Sure will be there.
So yeah, we're excited about that one.
So the boys are leaving to go to Oklahoma
well,
to
it's not
work.
official yet. We'll know tomorrow. But yeah, we may. Yeah.
Okay, well, listen, congratulations beforehand. We're just going to put that out there.
Yeah,
in the
we're just going
universe.
to, I know. Then we have another one coming up in Vegas, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, and that one we can't quite yet talk about yet,
know.
but that one's gonna. I mean, on camera at least.
Yeah.
But that one's gonna be. That would be a big deal for us. Yeah.
It's so cool.
I love juicy information.
I know,
that.
right?
I mean, like,
Yeah.
give me something.
We
Give me.
Yeah, we
can.
can't. Because we can't edit this now.
Josh is over here like,
Yeah.
But again, that's like what I was talking about, like the secrets and stuff that like you learn that you literally have to keep to your chest and keep guarded, and which I think is hilarious for me because people will tell me stuff and they'll be like, "Well, don't tell nobody else," and I'll be like, who the hell else am I supposed to tell?
Yeah,
like,
right.
am I supposed to just go make a whole Facebook post and be like, "Oh my God,
you won't believe it.
What's weird is when you get like a secret from one person and a secret from another, and they're both talking, and you're like, you want to tell the other person, like, it's not going down like that, homie. I'm sorry.
it's so good." Does that make me messy?
I think if you were telling everyone's business,
That
then
makes
you'd be
you
like,
messy.
Okay. No, I'm definitely not doing that. I definitely want to be a respectable managing editor, person, human being, and journalist.
Well, I mean, it's just a lot of responsibility, you know, especially now in this day and age. I remember, so I was able to light President Biden, and he, you know, he was the nicest guy, but he literally, when he came down, he gave everybody a handshake in the crew, and he gathered us all together, and he was talking to us, you know what I mean? And he was going on for about 5 to 10 minutes. But he was just saying, like, us journalists and us people in the media and what we do have a huge responsibility, and we're already seeing it now with, like, AI and to help people, you know, learn the truth, and also to be able to distinguish, like, fact from fiction. And I remember, like, you know, it meant so much to him for a president to, like, that he would sit us down for some random people that he just met in one of his 40, 50 tours that he was going on, to really sit us down. And like the head security guard was like, "Mr. President, they're holding up traffic for us." He's like, "Well, it's a good thing I'm the president." And he just kept talking, you know what I mean? Yeah, but it was like, you know, it meant enough to him to sit down and talk to like 15 people
Right.
about that, you know what I mean? And to take time out of his day running an entire country to empower young people in the media to say, hey, like you have a big problem to solve and we have no idea how you're going to do it, but it's on you guys. So I thought that was probably one of my top 5 coolest moments, I think. Yeah.
That does sound like a cool ass moment.
But yeah, I mean, so how are you handling kind of like the information, misinformation era? Cause it's getting bad now, even for me. Like I'm like having a hard time sometimes. Like, is that fact? Is that real? What's going on here?
Well, yeah, like in my day job, I went to a conference last week, and I purposely clicked on the like AI type stuff, and just listening to the people like in this session that didn't know how to differentiate or couldn't tell the difference between an AI generated video or an AI generated like email or something like that. I was like, oh wow, like this is more serious and this is deeper than I thought. But I think for me, for us, like in the Flint side capacity, like, you know, we don't like AI anything. Like we don't like the pictures or anything. Like we would rather you do courtesy photos or get stock photos from like a place like Unsplash and stuff like that. Research, you know, we have a lot of articles and we talk about a lot of things like education, what like things back in the day with like the water crisis, like research, and we link the research and the data that we find. We embed all of that into the article. So if people really want to find out the information, like they can click on it and read where we source the information from ourselves. When I do journalism class, when I teach that, like I make sure to tell people, please research the data, please do this, please do that. Like I have slides that just talk about all of that kind of information. So we are very hyper vigilant in that regard, and also just making sure that, you know, now being in this position that I protect my writers and my photographers. You know, we had a wonderful guy named Bob Campbell who wrote an op-ed for both Flint Side and Flint Beat that talked about, you know, the arrest of Don Lemon in Georgia Fort. And so, you know, taking that into account, you know, it's talking to my writers and talking to our staff and being like, hey, like you are protected when you go out here, but you also need to know your rights. You also need to know, you know, research for you, you know, and all of those kind of things so you can protect yourself and so that we can also be able to protect you in these things. Like it is very, very important. And I'd be like, I don't want any of you all thinking when you go out here that you're by yourself. Like, no, you have my backing, you have the publication's backing, and we'll figure, if something goes down, we can figure it out.
What's FOIA?
The Freedom of Information Act.
Okay.
Now, even I myself, because I'm not trained in journalism, like I did not go to school for this. I went to school to teach. My degree is in elementary education.
Really?
Truly. And my master's degree is also in education, but I'm attempting and doing my best to blend the two because people need to be educated in this sector of journalism. So I didn't know about FOIA until several years ago. I was working with a photographer here in the city, a credible photojournalist named Jen Veloso. And she had got the opportunity to go work for MLive. And so, you know, just in us being friends, you know, she started, you know, telling me, you know, things about what goes on, you know, what we need to know being a smaller publication, like what goes on in a bigger publication, you know, and even now with a new writer we have, her name is Randy Richardson. She worked for NBC, and I, you know, picked her brain. I said, what kind of stuff, you know, have you learned that, you know, I can learn and absorb and then pass that down? So, you know, when we talk about FOIA, when we talk about, you know, protecting yourself, your rights as a journalist, the, you know, the freedom of press, the First Amendment, you know, all of that kind of stuff, like as managing editor, like I'm learning and I'm getting a deeper dive and an understanding on so that I can inform our staff about all of this stuff, so they can be protected and know this stuff too.
Mm-hmm. What are some of your rights under the Freedom of Information Act?
I don't know them all. I do know.
Name a few.
I do know, I hope I'm understanding this correctly. I do know that any public information we have the right to. So how do I give an example of this? So like, how when nonprofits, like they put out their meeting minutes and notes and stuff like that. Like if we want access to that, like we can have access. The public can have access to that too. So just like information and stuff like that, that is freely accessible to the public, we can get. And I'm pretty sure people in the comments are gonna, give me more clarification and stuff like that of these. Like, again, like I said, I'm still learning these things, and I'm definitely not afraid to admit I don't know everything about everything. So please teach me the ways senseis out there in the world.
Yeah, let us know if somebody knows. FlintMichiganFilms@gmail.com or just write in the comments on the YouTube.
Send me an email personally at editor@Flintside. Like, hey, bro. Check
so
out
what had happened
links.
was this is what you need to check out.
Yeah, like
what? Yeah,
but that's good to know. Like I didn't know that. I'm a nonprofit too with Flint Film Foundation. So I had a journalist come to me and want to write something and get our minutes. I didn't know. Like do I legally have to give it to them, or how does that work?
I think well, I don't think we have them yet. I think because you've only had what, 2 technically meetings so far.
Oh, I have the minutes, baby.
She's better than that.
Every meeting has minutes, right?
Now we have our secretary, who I'm sure will be on top of that since she works with way more nonprofits than we do.
Yeah. Do you know Kate?
Kate Stockton, over at East Village.
Yes. So Kate is on our board.
See?
Yeah.
Now, she is definitely a go-getter and knows her shit and comes from that world.
She's
absolutely.
Freaking smart.
Way smarter than me.
I was like, Kate needs to be on one of these podcasts.
No, seriously, like having people like that, just to talk about, stuff like that, and her perspective in journalism, like all of that stuff is important to be able to educate the public, like what is fact from fiction, how to do your research, how to look something up, which is coming from an education standpoint, which is some of the things that we do teach in school as teachers, but a lot of students don't necessarily take the initiative to utilize and apply.
Well, and you guys at Flintside, you guys are like very more personable though, for interviewing people. I mean, you do some organizations, but you're really about the the people involved, the actual people themselves, right? So
yes, it's a bit of both. So I've interviewed people who own the businesses to talk about what their business is doing. In the interview and in the write-up, like we may talk about, their childhood growing up, how they got to either create this business or become the CEO, director, executive, whatever of this business. But yeah, we definitely do and talk about and highlight businesses in the community who are doing stuff. So it's a mixture of both, really.
Yeah. Yeah, because I always feel like, or maybe that's just the articles I read. I always feel like I love how personal and detailed you get with people. You know what I mean? I think I feel like a lot of journalism doesn't kind of do that. They kind of gloss over and just get to the more where you're at now things versus you take a little bit of deeper dive, which I kind of always enjoy. It just gives you an insight into their brain or why they may be thinking this is the best course or something like that.
Yeah, I know, for me personally, I want to get immersed in, does that sound weird? I want to get immersed in that person's world. And so, to a degree. Yeah. To a degree. I'm not, big of a smoker, but a lot of the music artists that I interviewed did smoke. And so, being around a couple of them, interviewing a couple of them, I was like, okay, I'm going to smoke with you. I want to be immersed, in your world, in this studio space. I want to get like the behind the scenes of like how you all create music and, you know, what studio time looks like for you all. You know, that's what I do. And I tell our writers, like, do what you feel comfortable doing. Like, I'm not going to tell you to just go jump. If you interview like a swimmer or a diver, just go jump in the water with them so you can get this story. Like, absolutely not. Like, do what you feel comfortable doing. But, you know, for me, I'm just like, I'm going to, if I can and if I'm comfortable with it, I'm going to, you know, give it my all and do my best.
Are you jumping in the water with the diver?
I might jump in the water, yeah.
All right.
I mean, I learned how to swim recently at a summer camp for my students. This past summer, I learned how to swim.
So I'm curious. So you do Flint side.
I do.
And then you are an educator, teacher.
I am.
And where do you teach?
So I don't teach per se now.
Okay.
I realize I hate classroom teaching. That wasn't the role for me. I do better like mentorship, one-on-one type stuff, small group stuff. So I work for a program called Gear Up, which is under the KCP, the King Chavez Parks Initiative, which is one of the programs that is currently and has been under attack federally for losing its grants and all that kind of stuff. So it's been a very stressful last year and a half for us because I didn't know whether or not I was going to have a job for the last year. So,
Wow.
But I work out of Flint Southwestern in the International Academy of Flint with a cohort of students who are now seniors.
Wow.
They're getting ready to graduate soon. And my job is to basically get them prepared for college, the armed forces, content creation, or, you know, if they just decide they want to go get a job or do skilled trades and things of that nature. So we take them on incredible field trips. We took them up to the UP lab 2 years ago. We get them exposed to different opportunities. Like Michigan Works has like a huge skilled trades event. So we took students there to get exposed to that. We do college field trips. We're trying to do a HBCU tour.
Oh, cool.
So just a whole bunch of stuff that I get the opportunity to do with Flint students, and
cool.
It's very rewarding work.
I will say there's always, I feel like the Flint has a really good way of like giving students opportunities that I don't think a
Absolutely.
lot of other cities do. Because I remember like going, like when I went to the Army and I was like, have all this, like, oh, I've done this. I went to this leadership academy. I did, you know, all these things because I worked with their program. I can't remember what it was called, but basically you'd start from like with the same class from your freshman year to your senior year, but then you would go on field trips to these colleges. You would go to all these other places. And I remember like talking to the people and they're like, no, I just played football. Did shop, you know what I mean? And so, but I'm always like, and we work a lot with like the University of Michigan Flint, and they work with all the local kids, and they're always doing something. They're always going somewhere. They're always learning. Their brain is like always getting exposed to these opportunities. And I think it's one thing that a lot of people don't think about when they think of like Flint schools is like the opportunities just to get to do things, I think is second to none.
Yeah. Do you guys partner with Job Corps?
We can. We haven't yet, but we can. Like, so I used to be a team of 2. Now I'm a team of 1 with 120 high school seniors.
Wow.
Yeah. So I had a partner. She left to go back to school and, you know, take care of her family. So that left me in a position to hold the bag, essentially. So there's a lot of things that I would love to do with my students that I just don't have the capacity to do, like Job Corps, Factory 2. Like, they're always doing stuff. I'm like, I want to get y'all over there to Factory 2 so bad. And it's like, I had like 50 other things that I have to do.
So much on one shoulder.
Probably a lot of it's legally required on top first to go through.
With the kids, yeah. It's a
Yeah.
lot.
I will say that is one thing that I think it's maybe the whole world, but it's just, it feels like everybody is being asked to do more for less nowadays.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. And it's like, what are some things, like, I guess we'll get into the personal, like, what are some of the things that you do with doing this and running, with being the managing editor of Flint Side, working with these kids, running your own magazine, which we haven't even talked about.
Yeah,
Plus having a social life, trying to work out, have a boyfriend. Like, what are some of these things you do, like, as a professional to help, like, avoid burnout? He's like, I'm burnt out right now, bro. I don't even know where I'm at.
No.
It's so real.
Like, no. Honestly, like, I am burnt out.
Yeah.
And the only reason I know this is because my therapist literally like 3 weeks ago was like, Xzavier, this is what we call burnout.
Yeah.
And I was like, is that what this is? And she's like, yes, you need to like chill and slow down, which is something that I am working on. Mm-hmm. Like literally a couple of days ago, I literally turned in FMLA paperwork so I could get some time off, like extended time off, because the work is valuable. It's very rewarding, but it is tough, like doing all the things that I do in the city. And I'm very fortunate. I don't want anybody to think that I'm out here complaining, because I'm truly not. Like, I love everything that I do, which is why I do it. If I didn't, I wouldn't be doing it. But last year really took a toll on me, like really, really bad. It was like I had some super, super high highs. I had some really, really low lows. But something in my spirit just kept saying, go, 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 go. Like, it's going to pay off. Just go, 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 go. And that's what I was doing last year, was going. And it did. Like, it all paid off. I got double promoted. Like, I became the associate director for the day job and managing editor for the night job. Like, and got all of these incredible opportunities to interview these people, take my students X, Y, and Z. A lot of things popped off with me and like my work with the queer community here in the city. So it was all worth it. But then like December, I was like, God damn, I need to figure something out. I need to take a break. I need to do something. And so since the start of the new year, I've been like slowly like knocking stuff off my plate. Like, no, I can't do this. No, I don't want to do this. Like, I need to enjoy the fruits of my labor and smell the roses and the flowers and stuff like that. So I'm literally in that process right now.
Yeah.
So that is
like
a very
in the beginning phase.
Yeah, that's a very timely question for me right now.
I think so many people, especially entrepreneurs or people that are trying to make a difference, like experience burnout so hard. Like, I have a girlfriend and I love her. She helped me build my first nonprofit, but her passion is to serve leaders because she understands what leaders are going through. And so it's such a powerful thing to be able to be like, I don't need this. I can pass this off here, you know, instead of holding that control and like letting things go a little bit. But
listen, I would rather be behind the scenes. Literally, I would. I don't like being in the spotlight at all. But for some reason, the universe is like, nah, good sir, we need you in the spotlight doing all of these things. And I'd be like, shit, but I just want to be at home doing nothing and minding my business and playing my video games.
Man.
But I don't know, like I look at my life and I never thought that I would be here doing the things that I'm doing right now. And some days I just wake up and I just be like, wow, like that guy from back then or that kid is here now doing this. Like, it never crossed my mind, but I do need to take better care of myself.
Yeah.
I would say, yeah, that was one thing. Like, we had talked about, like, how we had met. I was kind of in, like, my, like, burnt out, like, I don't know if I want to do this kind of anymore thing. And the work was slow and all the Hollywood shutdowns and everything. And so I was, like, when she met me, I was, like, working, like, maybe once or twice a month, which was blessed, you know what I mean? Like, you know, because I bought my house, I owned my house, I didn't have a lot of bills. So, like, and the jobs that I would get on commercials would pay well, so I was just like, oh yeah, you know, work a couple times. I was saying no to jobs for the first time ever. Like, no, I don't feel like I'm gonna do that. And then I don't know, we had a
conversation. This was a powerful moment for me in the relationship. And he looked at me in our early conversation and he said to me, but what if you know you're supposed to do something big? Like, what if you know it?
Oh my God.
And I'm like,
hit me with this, cause hit me.
It was so powerful to me because we weren't, and like we were having that, like one of those just conversations. And I was like, well, you got to do it, right? Like if you know that you're supposed to do it, you got to do it, right? Like I don't know. I think that that's kind of where that started, which was interesting for me too as a partner, because, when you're with somebody that knows, what they're supposed to be doing. And, I was in a place too where I was kind of the same way. I just actually had went through a divorce.
Oh, wow.
And so I had not planned on meeting anybody. I was just kind of finding my way, training for this competition. And like, we were just kind of there. And so that's where it all popped. And then, I was like, okay. So after he started going, I was like, I got to like figure out if I'm in this for real with him, because we're about to go do this for real.
Yeah. Because I went back to like the ways of trying to get it. Like I went from like, being home like almost every day to like see you once or twice a week, maybe kind of thing. And then we got the space here, and then we're like, well, there's definitely no stopping now. And like this is a transformation of not even a year, 6 months, barely.
June we got the space. July we formed a nonprofit, and that actually gave me something to work on beside him, right? So we could work together in this industry, but have our own things to take care of, and into because I don't want to be like just like somebody he just took around to set, you know what I mean? Like
this is the director of photography's girlfriend, this is the producer. No, but I think what worked is we're both powerful because we both love people differently. You know what I mean? Like I love getting to do these opportunities. A long time ago, like I was they say like, what's your favorite thing about the job? It's like, I love that I get to get my friends paid and I get to hang out with my friends and do the things. And now I love that I get to, be able to take care of people in the industry, but I also love that I get to like help tell these stories, you know what I mean? And I love like getting those out there. But like then when it comes to like the smaller conversations with people, I'm like, and then and she's all about it. She's remembering birth dates and how their family was, and I'm just like, how's the business going? Like I remember you were having this problem. Did you ever solve that problem? So, and it's not that I don't love the people. I'm not interested in them. To me, that's what gets me going is, making sure that people are successful, making sure that they're taking care of their families, making sure. And she just remembers all these little beautiful details that I'm trying to get better about.
Yeah.
That gives me hope. Like I appreciate this moment. Like that gives me something to look for, because me and my boyfriend are kind of in that weird moment where he knew
the chef
he knew like when we got together, like I was busy. Even I didn't expect to get busy like this. And so as I'm going, you kind of similar to what you said, like he doesn't want to just be, oh, this is such and such's boyfriend, you know what I mean, or this is such and such whomever. And so it's been like a lot of conversations that he and I have been having recently. It's like, okay, well, what do you want to do? Like, where do you see your life going and stuff like that? And I have to tell him, I'm like, I don't care what you do. Like, whatever you want to do, I'm going to be down and I'm going to support you, but I don't want you to feel like you have to be here and do everything for me. Like, no. You your own person. You have your own life. You have your own dreams and goals. And I want to support you in the same way that you want to support me. And just looking at y'all and hearing y'all story and that, like, that really like gives me something to look forward to in the future. Like, oh my God, like we're gonna figure this out in time.
And it's definitely not been easy. It's definitely not been, because I think he feels the same way. Like I think originally one of the parts that he loved was that it was individual, like I did have my coaching business and he had this, and we kind of worked. And then, for me, I was like, I had never had a partner before that wanted to go do the things with me. You know what I mean? Until I met Corey. So then I found myself always wanting to be with him, right? Like I want to always be with you. And so we've worked through, some of that where I don't always have to be with him now, but I'm so, like, I love his passion and I want to be part of that. And so we've been kind of finding a way where, you know, like we do this together, but then he also can support me in the health coaching business. He's on program right now.
Mm-hmm. I sure am. Actually, I really do. Like, I mean, I've been a little bit here and there, but I always say like, and I always just describe it's like a relationship. Like the perfect relationship is like a Venn diagram. You know what I mean? You got like two circles, and that core is like, well, that's your relationship, and then everything outside there, that's them, and that's important too. But then, you know, and the thing, you make your whole radius bigger. You know what I mean? It's like the joining of two people. You know what I mean? And you know, we've gotten to, you know, a lot of it has been like, oh, I love this person, but it's not good for me. And like back then it was just like, hey, well, I own this. What if we, you know what I mean? And so it's our two separate things. You merge it together and then you help each other out. And so I think, you know, we have definitely like, you know, we love each other. We have like the same core beliefs on like how we want to work, but then we also have these other kind of ways that we can help each other out, and it just expands our circle. You know what I mean? It makes our circle bigger together. And then you know, you get other people involved, and they expand your circle and expand your circle. So I always feel like the best relationships are Venn diagrams. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna steal that.
That's so good.
I'm gonna put that in my box. And
I feel like you are Corey in the situation, and your
Yeah, very
boyfriend is
much.
me in
Yeah,
the
very,
situation.
very
So I
much so.
feel I want to go over and he can cook me dinner and we can have a conversation.
Yeah.
I heard he was making a good dinner coming up.
And we'll play video games.
Yeah, right. There you go. You guys play video games. We'll talk about.
Well, it's
stuff.
like when we got together, like one of the big things, he was like, you know, I want to be able to support you. And I was like, you know, I love that. Like, I love that you want to, you know, show up to this event, or you want to come to this, or you want to do this and that. But what I tell myself, what really matters to me is that I can come home and I know you're there. And whatever happened out there, and it's just me and you. And, you know, you like to cook. I know how to cook, but I don't know how to cook like he know how to cook.
Right.
So I'm like, you know, if that's your thing and that's what you want to do, to me, that's support. Like, that's how you show up in support. Because I need to eat. I need the substance to be able to go out and run like a chicken with its head cut off out here in the community. And so it's like just being able to come home and be recharged and, you know, just lay up and watch movies or do X, Y, and Z together. Like, to me, that's the support that I'm like, I've been telling him, like, I need this right now. And we just moved in with each other recently. So like trying to find a balance in that. Whoever said putting two people's lives together was like hard work? Give them everything in life. Because it is a process, and I didn't know how much of a process.
Have you lived with another partner? Like,
No, this is my
your
first time. Yeah. So it is definitely some learning curves to this.
How long have you guys lived together?
3 months now.
Oh, so very new.
Very, very new.
That's interesting. What's the weird, like, what's the thing that you were like so surprised by? Like something, is there something that he does that you're like, man, like, that's a thing?
I want to like push him off the balcony.
Yeah. You want to push him off that balcony you were telling me about?
He does these. He makes these weird random noises, and I just be like, God help me. Oh my God.
I literally sent him a meme yesterday talking about this is what you sound like in the morning. It's like,
No, literally, like, he just does it in the most inopportune moments. And I just be like, really? Like, we were going to the grocery store in the parking lot. The parking lot is full. He opens the door and lets out this loud moan. And I'm just like, oh my
Number one man moans. Is he older than you?
He's younger than me, but he does the moans like so, and I'd be like, oh my God, why did you do that?
that's funny.
But it doesn't make me want to push him off the balcony. But I'll just be like
Those little moments.
What's your moment for me? I'm curious now. Don't get hit. No, I'm just kidding.
I will say
Honesty.
Leaving the lights on or
Ooh, that hurt.
or keeping doors open. I'm always turning things off. Except for I will give her this her moment. I know it is. I leave every freaking cabinet that I touch open and then like I'll shut them all at one time. You know what I mean? Like when I'm done with whatever, and then I'll go into a lab. I don't know.
He doesn't shut them all the time. He just leaves them open, and then you'll walk into the kitchen, and there'll be like 7 freaking cabinets open, and I'm like, wait.
That would freak me out.
I remember my brother one time, I don't know, I did something, and then I went down in the basement, and then I come back, and I grab something, I open more doors, and all of a sudden you hear, whap, 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 just like, I'm like,
slamming
the cabinets. He's like, do you know you leave every cabinet open? I just shut these. I was like, I'm sorry.
Oh my God. That's so fun. My parents will be so glad to hear that you hate that I leave the lights on.
Every time
and the doors open
at night, I'm just like, or whenever we leave somewhere.
Understandable.
You know, I'm sure we all have our things. I think that's the thing, right?
I'm pretty sure I have something that pisses him off every once in a while. So
we all do. That's
maybe
the
just
thing.
go home tonight and ask him like, "Hey, what am I doing that's upsetting?"
Let me talk to you about these mountains.
Do I know the thing?
Yeah, I was like, has he told you the thing?
He probably has. Do I know? He probably has.
He's listening to it right now.
I just forgot.
Yeah, I know.
That's probably what it is. He has told me some things, and I'll just be like, I don't know what to do about it.
I know, right? Like that's just how I am. That's just what
I know I can be a bit of a neat freak.
Oh, we would like Corey's such an artist when it comes. He just leaves stuff everywhere.
I leave them in piles and strategically placed piles,
bro. Okay, Xzavier would not understand.
What do you mean?
No, I don't know. I don't know if a pile would count. Like he just randomly will take his shirt off or something, and he'll put it like drape it over like.
Yeah, because I'm gonna get back to it when I eventually clean up all my other piles.
Which does not happen. I clean. You know.
I understand.
You see what I'm saying?
Well, that's because like, again, I grew up with a mom with 4 boys, and she was constantly on us about cleaning
good
up.
Men. She raised good boys.
Yeah, so I like have this thing. Well, 2 things is that, and also I just subscribe to the mentality that if my house is cluttered, that means my life and my mental state is cluttered. So it's like,
don't make me quote Einstein.
Did you just see that me look at him so hard like that, Xzavier?
I will quote Einstein.
That's because I tell him, I'm like, babe, I can't think unless I'm in like a space, and he tells me it's excuses.
So Einstein always famously said, if a cluttered desk represents a cluttered mind, then what does an empty desk represent?
An empty mind that can allow universal thoughts to seep in and put themselves on this motherfucking piece of paper that I can't do because it's socks and shit all over the floor and dishes in the sink.
Xzavier, thank you. I feel free right now. Like I feel validated. Like because and it will take me like before I think or process or work. I'll be like, I got to clean the house first. 2.5 hours later because I have to, do all the things or whatever. But
I would say like this past like month, other than the past couple of days, like just being like not having that TV right there used in the living room.
High five on that.
You know what I mean? Going in there, like, because like now it's like, well, I can't just sit down on the couch and relax a minute. Then I know she's going things, and I'm not sitting on the couch trying to unwind. I'm just like, well, I guess I'll just go clean stuff up, help her out. So I will say that has been one of the big things that I noticed. I was like, man, these things are everywhere. Plus, we have like a very small house. Like and I have so much stuff. Like I had enough stuff to fill 3 houses just with myself, which we got rid of a ton.
Jeez, 3 houses?
Probably at least.
He had so much gear. We're lucky we have this space because all of this, Xzavier, was in my garage and in the basement.
Oh my God.
It was, yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah, so
and then I literally had to, when we moved in together, we moved in pretty quick together because the roommate I was living with at the time was getting ready to sell her house or something was happening. I got rid of my whole life pretty much. Yeah, I just literally got rid of everything. I could probably leave in a car and pack up a car and all my stuff be in there. It'd be mostly clothes.
She's really good at packing, I will say.
Please teach me your ways.
I will teach. Let me tell you.
I'm a terrible packer.
We should go live on that one day. Have you ever done the rolling? Like the rolling of
my
the clothes?
rolls are terrible.
Oh, bro.
They really are terrible.
I will help you.
Yeah, she can get
I
like,
need help.
She can get like a 4-day trip in a backpack. It's crazy.
At least. I mean, with multiple shoes.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, I can come.
How?
It's been experience, man.
And like I was
all the girls
Army.
I travel with are always like, "How did you do that?" I'm like, "Girl, you just yes."
And I'm like a 2-3 bag minimum human being. You know what I mean?
No, is that you were with him? No, not on that. I'm
Like it's a
this
book,
is me.
It's a book bag, a duffel bag, and a suitcase.
No, because I fly Delta, so I'm like, I got one bag, right? You got a backpack, a carry-on. I am not paying.
Okay. That's relatable.
So that's how I learned. I was like, I'm just not paying the extra money.
The synapses in my brain don't connect with that because my boyfriend like watches all these videos on TikTok, and I see these TikToks of people like, okay, you do this and you flip it up and it folds, and I'd be like, what the hell is that?
I know we had a little conversation earlier about.
We had talked about like some of the like Flint, just like Flint. I feel like has sometimes such an old school mentality.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
absolutely.
So it's been interesting, kind of navigating it. Like I now when because I used to be like a man, like, oh, if I'm going to a nice event, I'll wear nice slacks and I'll wear a little button up and I'll wear a little thing, and I stopped doing that because artists, nobody cares here, but. Now that I've been going to these luncheons, I'm like, oh, yeah, let me tighten up a little bit. You know what I mean?
No, I get it. I get it. When I started to become a bit more recognizable, I was like, oh, shit, maybe I need to, like, spruce up my wardrobe a little
Pull it together a little bit, yeah.
I got to look the part a bit.
How is, so you lived in Flint, moved out for a little bit, and then came back to Flint. What are some of the things that coming back that surprised you that you kind of forgot about? Because I remember a few moments that I had.
Downtown Flint had changed tremendously. I was like, what the fuck is the Ferris wheel? What the fuck is a Foster's Coffee House?
Right.
What is the shops on Saginaw? I was like, what is all of this stuff? Like, that surprised me immediately. Because I went down and I felt like I was like a deer in the headlights, just looking up everywhere. Like, when did all of this shit get here? And then, what was next? Just seeing like all of the new events and stuff that was happening in the city. I was like, when the fuck did we start doing this? So
Porch Fest. I just want to shout out Porch Fest real quick.
Porch Fest is amazing.
Sorry.
So it was just like stuff like that. And then the different industries that was popping up, like the creative boom that was happening. I was like, I had experienced a little bit of it, but the water crisis just like killed a lot of different things simultaneously. And so to see like that creative industry like start to rise up again, I was like, oh shit, this is all new. So it really was like I had to relearn the city all over again, which being a journalist and writing for Flintside like gave me that opportunity to relearn like who are all of these new people. Well, not new people because people have been here, but who are all these new people to me? Because I was like, I ain't never met none of y'all. Where the hell y'all been at? So those are like some of the things that like shocked me. I was just like, oh, Flint is definitely changing.
Yeah, I mean, I remember like coming back in because I came back in 2013, so I think right before. But some of that was just like slowly starting to come back downtown. I think it did pick up like 2016. I think is probably. But there was a lot of big investments that were happening, and I was, kind of busy. I started taking photos in bars of like cover bands and stuff like to get while I was going to school. But and then I worked the news, and I worked the news in 2014 to 2000. Actually, no, I think 2015. So like, that's when I really started to get a little bit more immersed in Flint because like I was editing all these stories. I was like, what is that? What's going on here? And it really started to like get me to like, okay, cool. Like now I was kind of like skirting the outskirts of Flint because that's kind of what I'd always known. But I started like going downtown more and then getting opportunities to film in Flint. Yeah. And I was like, oh, wow, like Flint's really got it going on. And then it gets to the point where it's like I travel everywhere and I'm like, Thursday night, I'm like, where's live music? They're like, we don't do that here. I'm like, what do you mean? Or like on a random Tuesday, you know what I mean? Like, hey, well, who's playing live music tonight? That's a Friday, Saturday only activity. And I'm like, not in Flint.
Oh, my God.
Man.
I love jazz nights at Soggy Bottoms.
Yeah.
Oh, those are Mondays, right?
Tuesdays.
Tuesday nights.
Yeah, Tuesdays. Monday is Churchill's. They do, God, oh my God.
Trivia?
The outfit.
Oh, the outfit. Yep.
Trivia's popping up. That's been popular.
Yeah.
Everyone's kind of getting... And then it's one of the things that I have been loving recently is tenacity. Like, how they've kind of just... Because at first they were like, they just had beer, and I'm like, I'm not a beer guy. But now they've got so much in the outdoor, the Flint City tacos, the yoga, the live music, the fire pits.
I love the fire pit. Tenacity.
The fire pit is everything.
So chill.
And then now we've got, Queens, and it's coming up. Soggy's does their thing. They bring their artists into, and and then of course you got like the Golden Leaf on Wednesdays if you want to go something on a Wednesday.
The Golden Leaf.
That was my thing. Like a lot of times it would go like, I would start off at the Cork, have a drink, go to steak night, follow up with, we usually go to the Golden Leaf for a little bit, and then if I had the energy, I'd head out to do some karaoke at Autumn's. And that was kind of like...
I want to do one of those.
Yeah.
Let's do a Wednesday like that.
You gotta do a circuit. You gotta do a circuit of downtown. It's fun.
Yeah. Well, that's how we started dating. He would take me to all the cool places.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool. I got, I went to Golden Leaf my first time. They called me a Scarlet over there. I felt,
Ooh.
I know,
it was
right?
funny.
It was kind of funny. I was like...
Well, but I had street cred because I grew up, and I was like, where'd you go to school? I was like, Flint Central. What up?
Yeah, he totally had street cred. We actually have a cat named Leaf that found him at the Golden Leaf that he took home as a kitten, and he named her Leaf.
Amazing.
Yeah, Miss Lottie.
She's cool.
Like, no, baby, you take that home. I was like, I love your cat. She's like, that's your cat now. I was like,
Lottie is cool.
Yeah.
Have you ever done a story on Miss Lottie?
I have not.
You should.
It might be in the archives, but it was probably it's definitely before my time.
Man.
So.
Oh yeah.
She's
How long has Flintside been around?
Flintside started in let me see 2015, 16.
Okay.
I want to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's relatively recent.
Like 10 years or so?
Yeah. I feel somewhere around there.
That's cool.
It could be a little later, and then people are gonna flame me in the car. How you don't know these things? I just work here.
I just work here.
Well, I mean, I think that's too. It's like everyone, like a lot of things is I can't remember names to save my life. So it's like people are like, when talking about movies, like, oh yeah, that Paul Thomas Anderson movie. I'm like, all right, I know the name. What did he do? You know what I mean?
Which one of his movies? That's the question.
Exactly. I'm terrible about names. I'm terrible about directors. I'm terrible about actors. It's just not where my brain goes. But going to Flint, what are some of the biggest challenges that you think journalism faces in Flint currently?
Ooh, funding.
Yeah,
funding number one, and shout out to Jaquanda over at Flint Beat, who recently got awarded a $250,000 grant for Flint Beat. Like, that's huge. So shout out to them for that. But overall in general, just funding. Like, there are people who want to do this, who want to do the work, but I don't have the budget to be able to pay them what they're worth and keep a long roster of staff and photographers. Like, I don't have it. I'm fortunate enough that I do have a day job, so any money that I get, from that, like, I take a hit on, articles, so I could be able to give that money to the staff. So any articles,
that's a new word.
Okay. Any articles that you all have seen me write and is published since like November, I've not gotten paid for those because I'm like, this goes to the staff. Like, I have a salary day job that I clock into, so I'm good. Yeah. So it's just kind of like that kind of stuff. Yeah. But if I had the budget,
yeah. Side note: I see Josh and Gavin over there with C-stand arms, looking at me like, "Yeah." But I mean,
pay us what we're worth.
It is. That, I mean,
that's the thing. Corey, I think Corey literally thinks about that constantly. He's always worried about his guys. He's always worrying about trying to make sure that they're taken care of. And I think that's a big thing, because that's one of our things is funding. You know, I think that's, especially Flint doesn't realize that they need the good publicity and the good media and the good things. So they don't fund it like it needs to be at all.
They don't.
Yeah, and we're kind of blessed that like what we do does, especially other places, garnishes like a pretty decent wage. So like, well, you know, if we go out and do other jobs, like I'll get, you know, some money, and then I'm like, okay, cool. Well, you know, I've given myself a salary for, what's been almost a year now?
Ish.
Yeah, a little bit, like almost a year of just like, hey, this is how much I make. This is how much I need to survive. Everything goes in the business, and making sure everyone's taken care of. But you know what I mean? That is a thing. It's like coming to these people and saying like, hey, this is what I need. Not only do I have to teach them that this is what good media is worth, I have to teach them the value of that media. Then I have to teach them a lot of times that it is worth it to them. You know what I mean? So I think that's a hard thing. But so funding, I mean, I think that's an obvious one. What are some things that somebody might not think about that is really a big challenge in working with Flint?
The people. So they're like, Flint is amazing. Flint has some incredible people, but Flint can be very gatekeepish. Flint can be, as you talked about earlier, Flint has a lot of old heads, a lot of people who want to and maintain control over stuff. And there is a bit of, I hate to say it, but it is true in a lot of levels. The crab in a barrel mentality. Like, I have seen so many people get mad at somebody else's success when it's their success really means, in a very real sort of way, your success. And I speak from both personal experience and just, you know, talking to people and getting their stories and like all those like little secrets and stuff, right? Like even just talking about my journey in journalism, like it was very unorthodox. And to see people get mad at, you know, my level of success that aren't even in the journalism industry or in this business in any capacity, it's like, how does that work? Like, the higher that I go, in my mind, and what I'm attempting to do and doing on some level, the higher I go, the more opportunities that I can give to people in the city, whether that be now at Flintside through like internships or being able to hire, you know, young photographers and things of that nature. Like all of this feeds itself back into the community. And so a lot of times we can be our own worst enemy and our own downfall. And so it's like with one of our interns, like that's a real conversation that I'm having with her, like in real time. I'm like, hey, you're now a public figure. You know, people think when they see a journalist or they see somebody get an article published, they become a public figure now. And she would be like, yeah, you know, I was just out in the grocery store and somebody was like, aren't you the girl who wrote such and such an article? And I was like, okay, let's talk about that. Like, how do you feel about that? Are you comfortable with this? You know, what do you feel like you need? Can you handle the kind of pressure that comes from now being a public figure, a trusted source for the community? Because people are going to come up to you and ask you, why aren't you writing about this? Or you should be writing about this. Or I don't like what you said in this capacity, and everything in between. And you have to be able to manage that and I won't say be okay with it, because it's not okay, but you have to be able to manage and temper those expectations, because it can be hard. It's definitely challenging.
I will say, yeah. Like, I mean, I feel like when you get to that level, people expect you to kind of be like this. I feel like they take the humanity out of you and expect you to kind of be like this perfect person that doesn't exist, applies to everything. You always say the right things. You always do the right things. You always, make the right choices. And if you don't, they're like down with them.
No, absolutely. And this is why I say this out loud and I say this on social media. Like, no matter how high I go, I'm always going to be myself. I don't have a choice but to be myself. So if I'm wrong about something, if I don't know something, if I said something wrong, and it really was wrong, like I have no issue making an apology. I have no issue correcting a stand. I have no issue taking the blame and being like, okay, yeah, I can see y'all perspective from that. I should have said this differently. I should have done X, Y, and Z, or I could have done this, or maybe I could have framed. Like, I have no problem taking rightful criticism, critique, and feedback. But when you come from a vicious, vindictive place, absolutely not. Then you might get some words.
Yeah, it's definitely hard dealing with that, and we're kind of, I don't think we're quite yet public facing, but I'm always wondering, like, okay, when's the first one gonna drop? When's, so I'm always constantly, just because I've seen it on so many different levels. So that's interesting. I may be coming to you like, Xzavier, can I have some of that talk?
No, absolutely. I make it a point to let our writers know, like, this is something that you might experience. Like, I am very transparent about a lot of things that happen behind the scenes with our writers and with our photographers, because I never want to put them in a position where they feel like they weren't equipped enough to be able to handle it. And then it's always a conversation, okay, what happened? What can we learn from it? What do you feel like I can do better? And what do you feel like you can do better? And then what portion of it can we just say, nah, fuck them? Because that's also a very real thing.
Yeah, I mean, there has to be a level of, like, I'm doing this the way that I believe. This is the best way. You may not agree with it, but, given my experience or given this, and, could find out 5 to 10 years from now, like, maybe that wasn't the best choice. But you have to do kind of what you believe, because I think that's what gets you there in the first place is, and, if you're going to be successful, you're going to make somebody mad. I mean, you can't,
Those are lessons that I had to definitely learn the hard way and accept and acknowledge. Like, I'm just a walking billboard for people to just take issue with. So
always going to be haters.
Always. Yeah. I think I wish more people would take the time to think a lot more from different perspectives instead of just getting on the internet or making videos and stuff like that and just saying shit. Like, take an extra 5 to 15 minutes to really think about stuff and really understand where this might be coming from. So what I mean by that is, and I need to give an example. So I do a lot of work in the queer community. And one of the things that I'm a part of is called the Quality Caucus of Genesee County. And so one of the things that we're doing is we want to activate different spaces in Flint for queer people. So one thing we did, we had what we call queer takeovers. And these are not like, oh my God, we're coming in here to do X, Y, and Z. No, it's a group of us are going to come in probably on a rotating basis because people get off work. And we're coming in to show up, drink, eat, whatever. But it's just going to be a large portion of queer people to get exposed and feel like this is a safe space that they can come to and partake in and experience like everybody else. And then it'd be your own people who ask and, comment and say, well, why are you going to this place? And why did you do it here? And why not here? And I don't think people really understand, like, if we're always going to the same places, we're always going to engage with the same people. We're not growing. We're not making new connections. We're not broadening our worldview and our horizons. We're not allowing ourselves to fully be who we are in all capacities where we can be. And if there are businesses that are not outwardly queer or trans friendly, and they are on the low, but they might not just be scared, or that just might not be something that they necessarily advertise, but through this they're like, hey, we recognize this community. We want to, be a safe space for y'all to come. That's great for all of us. Like, that gets us out of our individual silos and allows us to be able to roam our city, because we live here in a freer capacity than we ever could. And so it just be like comments and stuff like that I really want people to just like take more time to really think about from a different perspective.
And that reminds me of like the whole separate but equal thing kind of. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, you guys are a member of the community. It's like, why do we have to have a place to go? You know what I mean? Especially now, like, I mean, because I mean, back when younger, I mean, you guys, there was a lot of places like for queer people to go to and to be their own space, and it was a lot different of an environment. It was definitely not friendly back then, but you guys had more. You guys had the Triangle, the Pachyderm, what was the zoo,
and them places are closed.
Yeah,
all we have is Rob's G Bar on the north side of Flint.
That's where I took you that night.
And
I got a great time experience.
Q's Corner on South Saginaw Street. So on opposite ends of the city, we have 2 queer-friendly bars, and that's all we got. Yeah. And so, our first...
Rob G's is pretty fun.
No, we love Rob's G Bar and Q's Corner. But like we decided we was gonna go take over the torch. Yeah. And that went over beautifully. Like, I talked to the owner and everything, and it was like, yeah, come on, like, we'll set a table aside for you. Y'all can come in. And I think like 40 of us ended up. I think
I saw you that night. That was the night where I was like,
oh yeah. like we just went in there to eat and drink and get to know each other, because a lot of people who showed up we had no idea, like, where do you live? I've never seen you. Like, so it's just like creating community in these kind of spaces. But then when you have your own people attacking you for trying to push the culture, trying to push the community, and grant more accessible spaces, you just kind of, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It's just, I don't know, and I think maybe that's just our generation, but I don't know, that whole mentality I can't get with it. It's like, I don't know, it's like, do you like money? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
you like good food and good people?
The torch is fun.
I love the torch. Yeah. It doesn't have to be an either or. It can be an and. Yeah. And I don't think people really get and understand that.
Well, and to even some back then, it's not as much as it was, but even some of the religious sections about that, and like the marriages between like man and man, you know what I mean? It's like, like men and men marriage is like, that's like single-handedly upping your numbers, homie. You know what I mean? Like, that's like your success rate is skyrocketing because of men marrying men. Do you understand that? Like, you should be all about it.
Those are a whole level of conversations I don't think this podcast is ready to have. I don't think this podcast is ready to have them kind of conversations, because I would blow
We'll have to go to the torch and we'll have conversations.
Y'all are gonna turn me into Saturday Night Live. I don't think we're ready for that one. Well, I'm trying to be, demure and mindful as my students.
Well, we're gonna have you guys take over this space eventually once we fully open it up to the public. Yeah,
that would be great. Like, now I think the next one we're planning on doing is Skateland in Mont Morris. Like, we're planning on going there and like doing like a queer takeover there. Like, again, I talk about, I don't get paid in money. I get paid in experiences and connections. Like, that's how I was able to, have the queer brunch last year at the FIA. Like, doing journalism and just being a good person and making good connections. I ran into somebody and she was like, you should do an event or something here. I was like, yeah, I'm trying to do this brunch. She was like, why don't you do the event? I was like, I didn't even know that was an option and a possibility. And they hooked that up for me. It turned out to be a beautiful event. We probably got a little bit too drunk though, but I paid for an open bar, so it is what it is.
We had a great time.
We had a great time.
Invite me to the next one.
I will. Like, the next one is May 1st. So it's just like stuff like that. It's like we need to be able to activate these spaces, we need to be able to go in these spaces and feel like we can just be ourselves. And at least in my experience, because I know everybody's experience is different, but these places that I've worked with and engaged are like, hey, like we want this community, we want these people, we want this kind of business to walk through our doors and be exposed to what we got going on in here. And I'm like, well, shit, fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Speaking of the community, you also run a magazine.
I do.
That focuses on that.
I do.
Yeah.
This
You
is
want to
why
talk a
I'm
little
burnt
about
out.
it?
This is the burnout. So I laugh and I say, by day, I'm like this teacher, professor guy, and then at night the bat signal goes up. And Xzavier is out in the community writing articles, holding events, and doing all kind of shit.
Yeah.
So I own a business called The Modern Queer, and under that is the Modern Queer magazine and a now on hiatus podcast. And the goal was to platform Black, Indigenous, people of color who are queer. And so, I'm so mad I didn't bring, because I would have been like, cha-cha. But everybody gets their own physical magazine of themselves. It's our entire, we'll edit it, of course, but our entire interview is a photo shoot that happens with it. It gets, published digitally and in print for friends, family, and the world to talk about it. It's just, talking about queer experiences, the drag ballroom, being queer in higher education, sports. One of my students at Georgetown I met, I found out later in life, she was like, hey, I'm queer. I would like to be a part of your magazine. She lived in Indonesia. So to be able to get like all of this different representation has been like, so amazing. I did not think Flint was ready for it. Like, I was a bit nervous. Like, nothing like this had been done. Nothing like this is being done outside of me. But it turned out to be this beautiful thing. I've interviewed at this point 35 people. It has, like I said, launched a podcast that was hilarious. It brought queer people and just the general Flint scene together for some hilarious conversations and dialogue, and got people who wouldn't have been in the same room together to have conversations about some wacky shit, including myself. And it's just been a fun ride. Like, now I've moved into like event planning. So like I talked about the queer brunch that's happening at the FIA. I've hosted like, panel discussions about being queer in Flint and stuff like that. So just doing too much. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing too much. Doing too much. Mm-hmm. But I love it. Like y'all mentioned earlier, like, how do you know, or what do you do when you know you're supposed to do something? Mm-hmm. Like, I know I'm supposed to do these things. Like, it's weird how I know, but mm-hmm. I know. It's like I can just feel like, no, you need to go do these things.
You hire a cute boy to help you with your events and cook for you?
No.
He's not hired.
No. No. That's how you invite trouble. That's how you invite trouble.
I was talking about your boyfriend currently.
No, I know, but no.
Look, he's just like, he's smart. Xavier's smart.
It's the best choice you can ever make.
I didn't hire you.
Like, I definitely believe, like,
wait, are you saying you hired me?
Kinda. I recruited you.
I'm
out. What? I want to know from the peanut gallery back there.
Kim did kind of like, well,
you're a hired hand, a helping hand.
I'm about to punch him for that one.
She's a partner. She's a partner in all things awesome.
I can't ever have you say that you hired me again.
Oh,
please don't.
It was more of a joke.
That.
Would I hire my boyfriend? No. And not because there's like anything, inherently wrong no. I think for me, I just want to keep some things separate.
Yeah.
Like, I need that separate life. Not going to say separate life, but I just need my own thing to be able to, this is what I do. No. I just don't. No, something that is just like, no, let's not do that.
I love how much time and effort you put into a single human during your magazines.
Oh, it's a monthly process. Like the last one I did is an amazing guy named Quentin Grosh. I think we spent 4 or 5 months together.
Wow.
Like, again, I go back to I need to immerse myself into your life. So we become friends.
I
like
love it.
It's not to say like, oh, I'm coming over your house and we watching TV and I'm meeting your parents and stuff like that, even though that does happen sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, like we talk, we text, we check up on each other. Like I'm getting to know like your life. What do you do? If you have a significant other, like I, get introduced to them, or if you want to bring your family involved in this process, like I do. Like it is a whole production in and of itself without all of the production like this.
Yeah.
Just taking time to get to know somebody, to be able to accurately tell a piece of their story. It is a lot, but I enjoy that process. I've met some phenomenal queer people. Just, oh my God, I'm like, I want to be your best friend forever.
Forever, ever?
Forever, ever.
I hear that. So I have this amazing friends named Joe and Anthony, and they're married, and they're in a interracial relationship.
Period.
Man, and they are raising a little boy that they adopted from a terrible situation. But they are stinking incredible, and so they just celebrated their 10-year wedding anniversary, and we got to go to that. And so what we did was we went around Flint and bought them like a ton of different gift cards so that they could come out and experience Flint.
Yes.
And like so we were gonna have them out, and we kind of wanted to have them go around Flint with their gift cards, do their experience, and then come back and tell us what they thought about Flint.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to introduce you to them when they come out here, because
that would be
they live in
amazing.
Livonia right now, but we knew each other. We were like 15 years old together working at KFC. You know? And then we found each other again. Like he walked in as a not an intern, but what do you call the people that get hired on as like a temp? It was a temp. He came in as a temp, and I had not seen him in like 10 years. And we immediately, and he wasn't out yet. So he kept telling us about his girlfriend. And I'm like, right? And then there was a story about a bowl getting thrown or something. And then he finally came out. And then there was Joe, who's also a teacher. So they met each other teaching, and now they have this incredible life with this amazing child.
I love it.
And it's been so fun just to watch them. I get to watch Tony live out his dream that he always had, that he had to hide for so long, but to see like what they're doing together, this boy that's so happy. They travel all the time. Like they're pretty incredible. So I'm excited to introduce them to Flint and have them come out here. But yeah,
I love that. Like those are the kind of stories that I love and appreciate. I'm a sappy guy, so I'll be like, it's so beautiful.
It's so cool. They've been through all the things. 10 years married. They're pretty awesome.
One day we'll see. I'm in the first year of not the first year. It's been a year.
Okay.
Since we've been together.
Yeah.
So 10 years.
No, married.
That's crazy.
Those
are things like I don't even think about, or I haven't thought about.
Yeah.
But now I have to think about it, because I'll be like,
you're living together.
Yeah, I know.
You don't like his moans when he gets out of cars.
It only gets worse. It's better at the same time.
Good answer.
That's what I hear.
Yeah.
You heard that? Good answer.
Yeah, you definitely have to, like, I don't know, to be able to like see somebody, to clearly just see somebody. It's like the ultimate magazine article that you'll ever write about somebody. You know what I mean? Because you see them on their ups, you see them on their downs, you see them through this journey, through this other journey. You know what I mean? You get to see the way they surprise you when they're like, oh, they're going to do the same thing, and then they don't, and you're like, I'm the problem, maybe. You know what I mean? But then then the same thing when you got your highs and lows, and nobody's ever seen you like that. You know what I mean? And it's kind of nice. Like, you can leave if you want. And they're like, I'm not leaving. I'm like, you sure? You know what I mean? So I think it's rewarding. I think when you get to that. I wanted to kind of just go back and because we had talked about something I think pretty profound, is that your friend wasn't out yet, and like how did that kind of go with you, if you don't mind me asking? Like, were
my coming out story?
Yeah, was it always like? Were you? Did you hide it? Did you know?
He's drinking water. Like, let me take a breath and drink this water real quick.
I have interviewed and know so many queer people, and my particular story is still one of the most unique I have heard. And that's not gassing myself up or anything, but a lot of queer people who I meet have had these incredibly good, but also just good in general stories. I did not have that. So what happened was, so I put context. I was born in 1990. I'm a 90s baby. This was before all of the stuff that we have access to and all the rights and privileges that we do now. It was a different time back then. So I'm in high school. This is like early 2000s, like 2003, 4, 5, them years. I'm in 9th grade. I like to write. I wrote this very risque story about these guys I liked and wanted to bang at school.
Oh no.
Yeah.
This is going bad.
It went bad. It's going exactly where you thought it's going.
Lord.
Yeah, it's going. So I had this friend call me, which brain wasn't braining back then. Nowhere in my mind did I say, why is this heterosexual straight guy calling me, asking me to read this story? Didn't cross my mind. So he says, I want to read it. Here go my dumb ass. I print it off.
Wait a minute. Wait, let me go back.
Yeah, process
I just want to
that.
make sure this is
Process
right.
that.
You wrote this story.
I wrote this story.
He's asking to read it?
He's asking to read it.
Okay, all right.
He's not gay.
He's not gay.
He's
you just
not
knew him.
gay.
How did he know there was a story? Did you tell him there was a
So
story?
he called and we was talking.
Okay.
So we're friends. Like, we're
Okay,
friends.
okay.
Well, we were friends.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So I wrote this story. I give it to the next day at school. First hour. By third hour,
Everybody knew.
it was done. It was done. So
In 9th grade?
In 9th grade. I didn't even get my foot in the door all the way. And then I'm just outed. By my own self, in a way.
Oh, yeah, you did it.
Yeah.
You were like, you printed it and you handed it to him. You couldn't even read it to him.
Bad about it.
No, I don't feel bad about it now. But it was that I was like, I don't know why.
It was the way it was supposed to be.
Well, I do know. I trust him. Like, we were friends. Like,
Oh, no.
Yeah. And I remember it. I was walking up the stairs to the 3rd floor to go to my French class. And the first guy I see, he looks at me. He's like, ew. And I'm confused. I'm like, I don't know what he's talking about. And then I hear the talk. And I'm like, oh, shit. So, yeah, that is my my lore on that matter.
How long was that recovery of, like, dealing with that in high school?
It took me until I was 25 to deal with that. So, okay, let's extra context.
That's real.
I graduated from high school at 16.
Because you're so smart.
Thank you. I graduated high school at 16. So in 9th grade, I was 13 when all of that happened.
Oh, man.
So from 13 to 16, I dealt with that consistently. And then I was stubborn, and my mom was like, she clearly saw, she didn't know what was going on, but she knew something was going on. She was like, well, you could transfer schools if you want to. And I was like, no, I'm not going to run away from this.
So she knew.
She knew something.
Okay, she didn't know.
She didn't know everything that was going on, but she knew, like, I was being very reserved and retreated and in my shell and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it took me until 25 to finally deal and heal and process from that.
Wow.
And the only reason I did was because I learned how to meditate. Once I learned how to meditate, that helped me heal from a lot of trauma and still is helping me heal from a lot of trauma. So from like 13 to 25, I was carrying that. So like I had no friends except my very best friend, who's still my best friend. She's like a sister to me now. That was it. Nobody wanted to talk to me. There was constant rumors. If the new kid came to the school, they would put the new kid up on game, like, don't sit next to him. He does this in the bathroom, which was never true. Which now at like 35, I'm like, well, God, I wish I was doing those.
I wasted a lot of time. Lord help me. That's crazy.
So it was like super, super rough for like a long time. Like I did not have any male contact or male relationships for years. So as an adult in college, I don't know how to have regular friendships with men because I missed all of that in high school. I didn't have like sleepovers and all that kind of stuff. Like we didn't go play basketball and all that kind of stuff. Like I missed all of that. So it took years for me to like, again, through meditation, to like put pieces together and come to understand, oh, this is why you do this. This is why you have problems over here. Oh, you need to go deal with that, or you need to process that. Like all of that started happening. But I appreciate what happened then because look at where I'm at now.
I was going to say it created you into the person that you are today.
Absolutely. That's my mentality for a lot of things. Like, was that a fucked up situation? Absolutely. I don't wish that on anybody. But if I did not have that experience, I don't think I would have the level of empathy for people that I do, which is a great skill to have in journalism, which also then empowered me to be able to create a magazine for queer people. If I had not had these experiences, I don't think I would be doing what I'm doing now.
Wow. That's pretty powerful.
That's the
No, that's really powerful because I think that too, you know, like with my situation, I was very obese and overweight. So people all of the time would look at me different, or they would treat me different, or I wasn't the girl that could wear the cute clothes, right? Like it was like a thing. And I think going through that has allowed me to also be able to be empathetic and compassionate and understand people on a whole different level than somebody who didn't go through all of those uncomfortable situations.
Absolutely.
So, what school did you go to in high school?
I was Beecher.
Beecher, yeah.
And Beecher compared to like Central, Northwestern, Northern, Southwestern, you know, was very insulated. So like we were literally our own community. And if you did not have access to be able to leave and like go to some of these other places just and make friends and stuff like that, like that was all you knew. That was really all I knew. And again, like this was a different time back then. Right. So this was 2003 to 2007.
Yeah.
A totally different era of life compared to now.
And see, I always feel like, you know, I mean, my high school, I felt was a little different. Like I felt like it was more free for people to experiment and for people to be themselves and accepting. Because, like, you know, what the white people were the minority there. Then we had a lot of African Americans, a lot of Hispanics. Like it was just kind of like a school that everyone went to. But I remember like, you know, I'm sure that, you know, some of the gay kids would get picked on a little bit, but then there was always the other kids that are like, hey, knock it the fuck off. You know what I mean? And so I remember leaving Central and being like, oh, cool, everybody's just kind of cool. And then I went out into the world and I was like, oh no, like, no, like, it's so like, to me, that's just, it's so interesting. Like the different, just for, like, I mean, just a couple miles away, living a completely different school system and a completely different journey.
No, I was an enigma. Like you think about, so I'm queer in this time frame, but at the same time, before all of these things was popular, like anime and all of that kind of stuff and Asian culture and all, none of that was mainstream as it is now. So I'm just some walking unicorn, literally, because not only am I queer, but my interests and hobbies do not align with the people around me. Like, I'm watching, like I said, anime. I'm playing RPGs. Like, I'm chilling. I'm in my world. And so, I'm wearing Japanese and Chinese silk button-ups that had like the letterings and the tigers and stuff on the back, and people are looking at me like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, you definitely could not express that. I mean, yeah, back in the day.
It's crazy.
Until Dragon Ball came out, and everyone was like, oh, it's cool, kind of.
But if just in that one.
Yeah, just in that one.
Just
that
in
one
that
was
one.
cool. But I mean, yeah, I do remember like when all these Marvel things and it started becoming cool to be a nerd and stuff like that. I was like, you assholes. I used to get my ass whipped for liking all this stuff, dude.
Where are your battle scars? Right? And so like that's another thing that, right, like I have to process and deal with, right? Because I can't let that those battle scars, those wounds, I can't project that on to the newer generation of people who are able to experience that in their fullness, right? I just have to, accept it and appreciate it and be like, good for y'all. And I love that for y'all. I have to have that mentality, because otherwise I'm going to be out here looking a hot ass mess, mad at people that they have a greater opportunity to be themselves than I did. Like that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
It
sure.
always kills me with the minimum wage things. Like, minimum wage is $15. Back in my day, I was just like, shut up, dude. Like, God.
Yeah, but the cost of living
Is
now
way
is
more.
ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, even just that, but like that's the point of like America, or at least I thought that's what it was, is to always get better, to help the next man up, to strive. So like, you know what I mean? Your kid doesn't have to go fight wolves. You know what I mean? Like now you got AC, now you got this, you can shower, you don't have to worry about, an infection. And I don't know, to me, just like, it feels like sometimes we people transgress into this like jealousy, this crab and bucket mentality. It's like, well, they didn't have to work as hard. Like, that's the point. That's why we're doing all this. That's why we're making planes and cars and refrigerating milk. You know what I mean? It's just like, but I mean, that's
Never refrigerating milk.
You know what I mean? Like, if you wanted milk, you had to go get it, and it wasn't going to be cold.
It sure wasn't.
You know
It
what I
took
mean?
a whole process.
You know what? One of your 4 kids was going to get a parasite and might have died. You know what I mean? But now we got pasteurized milk. You know what I mean? And it's cold. But I mean, I thought that's the person of why America was the greatest country, and sometimes it just is like, man, you crab in the buckets.
Yeah, I don't know what I could say to that. I'm just like, I just wish people would get it together. Just let people live their lives. Like, Jesus Christ.
If you could talk to the people of Flint, like, what is one thing, and if it's that you could let them
He's about to steal my thunder.
Oh, nope. Okay, so I'm not going to do it. I will say this then. All right, so if you could leave a message to a kid who is, thinking about coming out, or even an adult, or even somebody who's married with a kid, because that happens a lot.
Take your time. Like, give yourself grace, because that's going to be the most important thing. Because at the end of the day, you're the one who has to live with your decision. So fuck what everybody else got to say. Do it for you. If you want to do it for you, do it for you. If you decide, okay, I'm not ready, that's fine too. But give yourself space and grace to be able to make a decision like that. Like, even in today's age, we think that it's easier, but just because it's easier doesn't mean that it doesn't come without pushback and all those kind of things. That's what I would say.
That's good. And then, if you had one wish for Flint, what would it be?
Wow. I wish that there was more intentional collaborations and partnerships where people could not be in their ego, because I think if that kind of stuff happened, the Flint that we know would be something totally different. Yeah. That's my wish.
I like that.
Well, before we have Melissa ask the final question, is there anything that you just want to say that we may not have discussed or covered or?
No, I mean, nah. Nah. I said that like 3 times and my brain is like processing.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think so. Like, I feel like I was, truthful and transparent. There was some things on here, some questions that I didn't know about that I was like, I don't know. There's some things that I definitely knew and wanted to share my expertise on and just my personal opinions and experiences. So, we talked about, queer life and Flint side and, my students like that, though, and me and my boyfriend, like those are at this moment, like the most important things that are sustaining me, even though they're burning me out. But these are the things that are sustaining me and that are giving me purpose.
I love that.
Where can they find your work?
All over the place.
Truth.
Just Google Xzavier with that Z. That Z is important.
Xzavier.
I can officially say I am Googleable.
Yeah. See, I love that term. I use it
Googleable.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Google.
Or, a Bing search, a Yahoo search.
Bing.
Yeah.
Ask Jeeves,
Oh my gosh. He just took us way back.
At Xzavier with a Z at earthlink.net.
Oh, Lord.
Listen, Hotmail.
Hotmail, that's it.
Yeah, I'm Google. You can find me through Google, themodernqueer.com. You can type in my name in Flint side and all my stories and stuff will pop up there. So my work and legacy and stuff is out. My books are out there. Like all of that stuff is out there.
I love that. I think it's been amazing, and I loved I feel like I know all about you now, so we're going to have to, like we go from these little podcast meetings, and I'm like, man, I really want to go hang out with Xzavier.
Oh, we totally should. Listen,
yeah,
let me know.
Yeah,
let me know.
We should.
I'm down.
So what we like to do, too, is every time that we have a podcast, we have the guest ask the next guest a question. Oh. And so you were left with a question from Rob McCullough. Do you know who Rob is?
Yeah. On the way here, I was watching his episodes, and I was like, I had no idea he fucking owned the crepe company. I was like, I'm there too much.
He works the crepe company's amazing.
He was, one of the guys.
He's one of the guys that first started running it.
Like,
yeah.
What the fuck?
Mm-hmm. So Rob says, why does what you do here in town matter on the larger national global scale?
You better ask that motherfucking question.
Rob.
You better
have you had a conversation with Rob McCullough?
I need to have one.
Woo!
Somebody put me in touch with him.
Yeah, let's do it. You ready? One more time. Why does what you do here in town matter on the larger national global scale?
It matters because what I feel like I'm doing is investing in humanity. And investing in people and making space and giving opportunities for people to say, this is who I am, this is what I want to do, and this is where I want to go. And I feel like that leads to stuff on a national and global scale because that empowers people. Mm-hmm. That gives people agency to go out and a community in Flint or a community wherever to be able to say, it's possible. Like, I can do this. I think I'm a living, breathing representation of that. I started The Modern Queer in my mom's basement with no money to my name, and look at where it's come. I had no interest in journalism at all and found a random Indeed posting, and now I'm the managing editor of it. You know what I mean? Like, it's possible. And I think for me, what I'm doing is showing and giving opportunities to other people to say that it's possible. You can do it if you believe. I ain't never said it ain't easy.
Right.
You gonna want to punch a wall, punch somebody, cuss somebody, all them kind of things. Like, it's not easy, but it's damn sure worth it in the end. I cannot imagine another life that I would rather be living than the one that I'm living now. I got to meet all of you cool fucking people today. Like, if I was, if my aspiration was to be a teacher, if I stuck to that, I wouldn't have had this opportunity. So, do that shit. You can do it.
Yeah. So we asked these 3 questions, and you get to choose one for whoever the next guest is, which is going to be a fantastic guest, by the way, because I know who it is.
I know who it is too.
Oh, we told him already?
We did, yeah.
Well, okay, so now.
But I can't say anything. My lips are sealed.
Yeah, you don't know. Okay, so the first question is called Pass the Mic, where it's ask one question you would like to ask the next guest. So one personal question you'd like to ask them. Or 2, a spark, which is ask them something you would say to someone that's meaningful. Or 3, or leave one truth, lesson, or reminder that's been important to you.
Okay, see, I feel like I'm cheating because I know
Yeah,
who this
I
person
know.
is. But
now that you know, you kind of get an insight of
like that's
what do I want to know from them?
That's kind of fucking cool. I would say the last question.
Leave one truth, lesson, or reminder that's been important to you. I think that's going to be a good question to ask.
For this individual, yeah.
That's a good one. Cool. You get to write it in my little book and add our date and your signature.
Ooh, I get to leave my signature too? I feel so fancy and special.
Listen, you are, and we're really thankful and grateful that you came to hang out with us. And now that we know, we're definitely going to have to hang out, go on a little Flint night.
Absolutely. And right back at you all, thank you all so much for this opportunity. This was incredible. I'm usually the one asking the question, so to be on the other side and to be on the other side with cool people is phenomenal. So thank you all, and keep doing the big shit y'all doing. Y'all not no small little nothings. Y'all some big motherfuckers around here. Little do y'all know. If nobody told y'all, I'm just gonna let y'all know.
I can't hear that because my ego will go crazy.
We don't need that.
That's how my
don't need it?
That's how my supervillain arc starts.
You know what? Yes, I support you in this because I would like one myself. So you're gonna give me permission to have a supervillain arc.
I love it. All right. Well, I think that's a wrap.